Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Sentinel Reviews. Yes, we're a day late on this one. Sorry about that. Things happened. You can read about it on my Twitter, about why this is a day late. Until I get an actual lighting setup, and I still have to rely on natural lighting, winter filming is gonna be a pain. Anyway, our Doctor Who Series 11 reviews continue with Episode 6, Demons of the Punjab. Punjab. I've heard it both ways, so if you'd like to correct me as to which one's right, please leave a comment. And my camera is mirrored, so I just ruined that gag. But yeah, you probably saw this. This is the same image I used during my The Woman Who Fell to Earth review. Yeah, funny story. When I was editing my first review, I looked for a screenshot to put in, and I couldn't find a decent one. All the ones I could find were sort of low quality and not the best, so I thought, oh, I'll just use a Series 11 poster. And after the Ghost Monument review, that sort of became the theme. I would use Series 11 posters. And yeah, after episode 5, finding them got really hard, so I'm just going to recycle the 5 I already have and use them again. Anyway, tangents over. Demons of the Punjab. Really good episode. In fact, it's much better than the last 2 episodes we had, Arachnids in the UK and the Tsuranga Conundrum. I'm not going to say that's because this is the first episode not written by Chris Chibnall. I'm not familiar, even though I've seen his Doctor Who episodes and I've seen Broadchurch. I don't feel I'm familiar enough with the guy's work to really judge his writing properly. But yeah, this was a stronger episode, but it still had some issues. So, what's the story? While celebrating her grandmother's birthday, Yaz's grandmother gives her an old watch. And she asks the doctor, my grandmother is not telling me the story about this. Can we go back and see it? And so the doctor takes the crew back to the 1940s to India during the time of the partition, when Pakistan was founded. And it's all I can really talk about on that matter because the partition is not a period I know that much about. The only other thing I really know is that there was a movie made partially about it called Jinnah, about Muhammad Ali Jinnah, one of the founders of Pakistan, who was in that movie played by Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee has called it, I think he said it was one of his favorite movies he's ever done, or one of the most important movies he's ever done. And unfortunately, the movie is banned in the US. Wow, I am just going off on the tangents today. Anyway, they go back in time to find Yaz's grandmother and learn the story of this watch. And while they're there, they learn that the story Yaz always knew is probably not the truth. And I will circle back to that. So, at the beginning of this episode, I was concerned. It's like, I got this watch from my grandmother. This is Yaz, by the way. I want to know about it. Can we go back and see it? I thought this was a little selfish of Yaz, but then I remembered, oh wait, this has been done before. At least this opening was similar to Father's Day, a Ninth Doctor episode where the Doctor took Rose back to see her father before he died. So, once I remembered that, I was more okay with that. The companions themselves, Ryan, for one, Yaz is the one who kind of gets the spotlight here, and she's just not clicking with me. I don't know what it is. I thought she was much stronger here than in previous episodes, but it's just, she served her purpose in the plot well, but she's just not connecting with me. Graham continues to be my favorite, and he had this scene with Yaz, which I'll circle back to in a moment after I'm done talking about the companions. Excuse me. But just needless to say, it was a really good scene. Council of Geeks said, there we go, that scene should have taken place between Yaz and the Doctor. And yeah, while I can agree to some extent, I do like that it took place between Graham and Yaz. And then Ryan sort of had the back seat in this episode, and I've noticed something with Ryan. In the first episode, and I've been wanting to talk about this since at least Arachnids in the UK. In the first episode, it said that Ryan has dyspraxia, a disability that affects his motor functions. And we saw this in play a lot in The Woman Who Fell to Earth. And then we saw it a little bit in The Ghost Monument. He mentioned it in The Ghost Monument. And then after that, from Rosa onwards, nothing. And I kind of have an issue with that. It's like, you know, the Doctor's getting a companion who is disabled. That's cool. I'm trying to think if they've ever done that before, and I can't think of anything. But no, we have a disabled companion, and that's really cool. But the thing is, it's his disability is not affecting him. Keep in mind, I know nothing about dyspraxia, so for all I know, I could be wrong about this. And, you know, it seems like his dyspraxia only comes into play when the plot demands it come into play. Like, in The Ghost Monument, the ship, Graham and Ryan have crash-landed on the planet, and then the ship the Doctor and Yaz are on are crash-landing right after them. And while Graham and Ryan are running away from it, Ryan loses his footing and trips and falls over. And it's just, I'm having issues with this because, like Clara in the Impossible Girl storyline with the 11th Doctor, it's just being used as a plot device, and I'm having issues with that. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way with Ryan, and because, you know, it's been Rosa, Arachnids in the UK, the Saranga Conundrum, Demons of Punjab, 4 episodes, and it's not come up. Other than that, this was a good episode. Like, just, I was emotionally invested in it. I thought the side characters were really good here. Like, the two standouts were Prem, who Yaz's grandmother, whose name I am forgetting, Umbreen, there we go, I was forgetting her name for the longest time. Anyway, Prem, who Umbreen was married, and his brother Manish, who vehemently opposed this marriage because Prem is Hindu and Umbreen is Muslim. That's all I'm saying on the matter. And just the lengths by the end of the episode Manish goes through to oppose their union. It is like, I got choked up. I didn't cry or anything. I just got, you know, a lump in my throat. And I liked Prem too, especially the way he talked about, you know, what he saw in the war and how it affected his mindset. You know, it really fleshed him out, because that's not something we get a lot with side characters in Doctor Who. The aliens, the Thijarians, I had issues with. Basically, their story is they were an ancient race, sort of, I believe, similar to the Time Lords. Not in just that they are an old race who has been around for a long time. And these two Thijarians that we meet throughout the episodes are the last two in existence. They used to be intergalactic assassins, but then, save for these two in the episode, their entire race died out. And now they go through the episode mourning and remembering those who have died alone. This is the testimony. If you remember the Christmas special from Series 10, Peter Capaldi's final story, Twice Upon a Time, this is the testimony. And I just couldn't, once we learned what they were, I just couldn't shake that out of my head. It's like, really? We're doing this again? And on top of that, the designs were just really clunky. Like, it was a cool design, it was a nice aesthetic, but just looking at them, you could tell, yeah, these are just masks. These are just giant masks you're wearing. Which was really disappointing because with the effects on the aliens so far have been phenomenal. Is there anything really else to talk about? During Prem and Umbrine's wedding, I liked the Doctor's speech about love because, throughout Doctor Who, the Doctor's talked about the human race and hope, and I can't recall if she ever talked about love, but I do like this speech. I thought it was really nice. I liked the ending with Yaz and her grandmother. That was a really touching scene as well. I'm trying to remember it, because I know there was another point I wanted to talk about. Oh, I just remembered it. This episode came across as predictable, unfortunately. That's another thing that brought it down for me. Like 30 minutes in, and I made a specific note of how far in I was. The Doctor has not yet figured out any of what's going on, and 30 minutes in, the way everything was being talked about, I already knew Prem was going to die. And I knew the way things were escalating that Manish was going to play a role in it. Yeah, like I just said, it came across as really predictable. And I'll end with this. I liked the message because it's a message that I don't think a lot of people realize, but I think it's one that more people should know about. And I really liked it. Your relatives, they'll tell you stories about their life and, their experiences, but they're never going to tell you everything. For whatever reason, they're going to change things, they're going to leave things out. And, while you might not agree with it, it's something you should learn to respect. It's like, and I thought that was a really good and complex message. And I thought it wrapped up the episode nicely. I give Demons of the Punjab a 7 out of 10. So, those were my thoughts on Demons of the Punjab. Rambling all over the place as they were. What did you think? Drop a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and in the description, you'll see the link to my Twitter where you can follow me there and get updates on my channel. Also, click the little bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. Because subscribe stopped doing that. Anyway, this is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time.